The National Party insists it's put up a medicinal cannabis bill to help ease the pain of suffering New Zealanders, and it's not a political stunt. National's withdrawn its support for a government bill allowing those deemed terminally ill to access medicinal cannabis. This comes after the Parliamentary Committee considering the government's medicinal cannabis legislation failed to reach agreement on its scope. Trying to get to the bottom of all of this is our political reporter, Jo Moyer.
The Parliamentary Committee was split down the middle between National and Labour MPs, creating a deadlock situation when trying to decide on recommended changes. The government still has the numbers to progress the bill once it returns to Parliament, but in the meantime the National Party has created its own bill for the members' ballot. But in order for it to see the light of day, it will have to be drawn from the ballot. Opposition leader Simon Bridges denies it is trying to split the government over its own bill.
I think the timing in a sense dictated itself because this was the right time with the Select Committee. I think to anyone who says this is a game or a gimmick, look at the quality and the quantity of work that's been done here. It's massive.
National's health spokesman Michael Woodhouse sat on the Health Select Committee that heard submissions on the government's medicinal cannabis bill and said opposition MPs weren't listened to when they debated the details of the policy.
I think it's fair to say that the government members were ambivalent about the proposals that we were putting to them for changes. Look, the Minister of Health has over 1,000 officials that he could have deployed had he been more interested in exploring the issues that we were very clear were important not only to us but to New Zealanders, and there was absolutely no energy around that.
The chairperson of the Health Select Committee, Labour's Louisa Wall, says National's decision pulls the rug out from all the people who turned up to tell their stories, including those whose family members had died.
It was an emotional process. People with motor neuron disease, muscular dystrophy. So to not have an empathy and an ability now through a piece of legislation to provide product that we know will stop that suffering and to divert everybody's attention, I do think it's a kick in the guts to all those people who came and actually shared their experiences with us.
The Health Minister David Clark says National has had every opportunity to put amendments to the government bill forward to help improve it. Instead, once the Select Committee had heard all the submissions, National's turned around and produced its own bill, which Dr Clark says is disappointing.
Well, it seems a shame they're playing politics with this. They've just been through a Select Committee process where they've had every opportunity to put their suggestions forward. That process closed today and now they're making political announcements. If they really wanted to do this, the obvious thing is that they could have done that any time in the last 9 years.
The Green MP Chloe Swarbrick is annoyed the National Party is now suddenly putting up its own bill on medicinal cannabis, given it voted against her bill, which was very similar.
It's really unfortunate that the National Party has decided to table their own members' bill, it being a prescription-based one which was open to them 6 months ago with my medicinal cannabis members' bill, but we're absolutely open to working across the House, as we've always made clear, in a collaborative, transparent manner to get the best outcome for patients and their whānau.
The government's bill has been reported back to Parliament, so will be up for a second reading shortly. From Parliament, for Checkpoint, Jo Moyer.